How's it going? I hope you're doing just as good as I'm doing today. I feel really good about my effort, but man, I got to a point where I started the first 3 sets of my squats really well, high energy, core was all stable and everything, my hips felt great, and then I am such a big person about shooting the shit with people in the gym that by the time I fucking got to my 4th and 5th sets, I was already starting to feel gassed, because you know, I feel like you kind of cool down a lot when you start talking to people. You stop focusing on where your body needs to feel physically. But it felt great, you know? And my clean and jerks, while my warm-ups were not desirable, and I hit my chin, I think it was on the 2nd set. I think it was the first one on the 2nd set. I hit my chin. You'll see me bend really far forward. That pissed me off. But we brought it back and had some really good sets. So whatever, you know, it's good progress. Physically, I'll give it a solid 8.4, you know? Again, the squats felt really good, but I think it was just one of those days where I focused really hard on the squats and then chilled out a lot for the clean and jerks on accident. So it just inadvertently made it a little bit harder to get into and really commit to the form the way I would normally do. And it also takes away from my conditioning in my joints sometimes. It can be really hard to really lock those elbows out and lock my wrist in place when I'm not feeling fully in it. You know, because you're whipping your body around. It's a scary thing. But mentally, I'm feeling a solid, I think I can put it at a flat 8. You know, I'm feeling a lot better about my situation right now. And I like what I'm doing. I'm just, again, I always tell you guys, I'm just doing me. That's what it's always about. So, you know, and again, I had a few homies tonight, but they were good homies, and it's kind of no expectations, just having fun with the people that you know will treat you right, kind of deal. So let's just get into the talk real quick. You know, enjoy the weights as always, but I want to really focus on finding your own individual, unique peace of mind when you feel like you are stuck in a situation that cannot be solved with direct communication, it sucks a lot. Again, this kind of pertains to my video about yesterday's situation, where I live with these people that are kind of fucking with me a little bit and not making me feel as much of a friend anymore. But I know that they're never going to change their mindsets, as I will never change mine. But I'm okay about not mattering whether or not I'm right or I'm wrong. I just wanted us to find a compromise, but they didn't. So now I'm in the situation where I can't move out because money, you know, it'll fuck you over. And I don't want to, you know? And other than the shit I talked about yesterday, I have a pretty decent relationship with them. So I'm thinking to myself, what am I gonna do? Constantly harboring these feelings that are at core, they feel negative toward these people, but I can't communicate it to them in a way that I can productively and positively move past that shitty experience. And I think this can pertain to a lot of people's situation, especially when you're a kid and you have either just a fucked up situation financially, or if you're, again, I hate when this happens, but if your parents are abusive in any way, or your guardians in general, you can't really do anything until you're an adult legally. You can either go to a foster home and have, I don't know what situations would be better or worse, but most of the time a foster home is worse. Otherwise you just kind of have to stick it out and get tough until you're 18. And that at its basic ideology sucks. You know, there's no real pathway, there's no real mending for that kind of situation. People just say, tough it out, you'll be an adult one day. And while it is technically correct, it sucks. It doesn't make sense to the kid, because they're not supposed to know what to do in that kind of a situation. You know, it's why we have counselors for bullying. They don't know how to deal with these negative experiences in their lives, so we give them our own take on our previous experiences to hopefully allow them to be better people along the way, and find that mental toughness that allows them to not just being like ignorant of the negatives, but accepting them and being okay with them happening, and then moving on in a productive way. And so while I can wallow and sit around and be sad that I can't be technically honest about how I feel, because anything I say will create an argument that leads just to yelling and no actual logic and baseline human communication, base human, what is it? What the fuck ever, just that decency that you're supposed to have toward other people, because again, the right and wrong doesn't matter. It's just about how you get through it and pick yourself up at the end of it. So at least the way I see it, if you're in a situation like this, like either what I'm saying, or if you're a kid and you're stuck in a family situation, or you got people picking on you and you don't know what the fuck to do, whatever, the best, there's never a solution to mental shit. It's just about how well you can move on and collect yourself. And so for me, I think that the best thing you can do is surround yourself with as many positive external influences as possible, whether they're activities like my weightlifting, or if they're other people that truly bring you up and support you with zero expectation unconditionally. That's why I love the gym so much and I spend so much time shooting the shit with people, because the friends that I've made there, I met while they were trying to, I'm sorry, Jesus, that guy almost pulled out in front of me. I met them while I was trying to better myself as they were trying to better themselves at the same time. So we had this unique but similar mindset where we just wanted our lives to feel more positive, and everybody just starts supporting each other when you're in that situation. Because again, once the baseline layer of bullshit comes out and you don't have to worry about hiding your true personality to certain people that you meet, you can be so much more similar to them than you could have really understood in the first place. So it's surrounding yourself with those positive environments that will allow you to, although you will experience those negatives along the way, it makes it feel more okay, as those positive stimuli in your daily life will make it easier for you to take the next first step into picking yourself up. And so it's, there's never gonna be a straight line solution on how you can escape the people that are making you negative. Like for me, I'm probably just gonna have to wait until I move out, or if they do, because I'm in college. I gotta finish out. I can't just leave because of someone else's bullshit that doesn't even really affect me. It's just I gotta take it on my own. I say this every video, but you're only as negative as you allow yourself to be. So if you have these negative influences in your life and they're causing you to suffer in the things that you're supposed to be loving and remaining passionate about and really committing to for just yourself rather than other people and their expectations, then it's man, I rant too much, sorry, but it's just knowing how to collect your own mindset, put the pieces together that you know that you need to move on, and just again committing to your own life outside of those negative influences. Because once you stop letting them take so much hold of your own life, because typically when those negative things happens, like in my situation, it's caused by someone else's lack of logical and humanly decent communication toward you as a person. So if they're not going to do the baseline of what's required to do better, then not that you shouldn't. You should always treat everybody equally, even if they are negative people, but you should be okay with moving on after that. So it may suck for a period of your life, and interacting with those people is unfortunate, but the best thing you can do, especially if you have thoughts of revenge or getting back at them, which again doesn't help, a better way to redirect those feelings of negativity is turning it into a positive influence for yourself by saying, instead of trying to get revenge or doing things to make them unhappy, I'm just gonna live my life and be as happy as I can, because I know that if I ignore their bullshit and live my life to the fullest extent that I can, then they're probably going to be more pissed off than you know, because they had control over your life for a period. And again, those people thrive off of control. You know, the moment you start doing things that are unique and individualistic outside of their personal mindsets or principles in life, whether it be an adult figure in your life or a friend or whatever, anybody, once you start really acting for yourself, just for the sake of being better, they're gonna look at you and be like, damn, I thought he or she had less than me, and now this guy's smiling his ass off, having the best days ever, and he's not even working for it, you know? And again, it's a very materialistic mindset when people like that say that. It's understanding that you don't have to work your ass off and have this crazy successful career in order to find your own individual unique happiness. It's about what you're gonna do to find that happiness in the most minimalistic, unique way possible, and then adding on the accessories after. So for me, I know what it takes to maintain happiness. Doesn't take anything material. You know, I'd like to keep my relationships intact because I love people, and humans thrive off each other, socially and mentally. So as long as I got the people that love me, and I keep loving the people that love me, you know, equally, without condition, then I know I'll be okay. I don't know I'll be happy, because when it comes to my own personal mental health, I already know I got the passion locked down. I'm never gonna try to skip out or put in less effort than I may have had that day. And so if you got people that are really tanking what you think you could be putting out there, if you're stuck, again, revenge is not the way. It will only make a hole in your heart, and it's gonna be, once you actually get out of that situation, which, revenge or not, will probably take the same amount of time either way, you're probably gonna feel empty once you have lost that source of, that outside source that you could push your negativity into. Like for me, what I love to do is anytime I feel super irrational or emotional about a subject, I will do one of two things, if not both. And one, I call one of my best friends, or just one of the people that are the closest to me in my life, and I explain to them how I feel, because I can yell out my negative emotions to them without them getting upset that I'm yelling about it, because they know it's not directed at them. I'm just outwardly throwing my bullshit into the world because I don't know where else to put it right now. And otherwise, sleep on it. You know, it's, even if you're in the right, and even if you're wanting to retaliate right there in the moment, the best thing you can do is sit there and say, I am not fit to have this conversation right now at this moment, so I need to take a minute to give me some me time, understand how I want to feel about this before I make an irrational decision that I can't take back, and then I'll move on. Regardless of the outcome, you can always hold yourself together with the people that you love and the commitment that you have to your own life. So, you know, I'll wrap it up there. I'm home. I gotta get the meal cooking, but I hope you guys can maybe appreciate, not even appreciate, just, I love knowing that you guys may have latched on to one little thing I said and been like, oh, that shit makes kind of sense. It's like, I love that little connection, because again, even more than the positive influences in your life, when you connect with the same principles with someone else that you expect nothing from, and you both have a conditional support line for each other, it just makes the connection so much greater. You're not always going to agree with everybody that you meet, but when you find those rare people that really align with how you feel about your life and the experiences you've had as well, those will probably become your best friends if you allow it to be that way. So, you know, do you enjoy life, do whatever you got to do to make that happen, and hopefully this made a bit of sense. But that's all I got. We're benching tomorrow, so I'll be back. See ya.